Hello and welcome to a little taste between reviews that I thought might be interesting because I get asked a lot about light wind gear. Now unfortunately I haven't tested many items in this area, so I don't have great advice on a variety of different options, but what I can say is that my Frankenstein mix of brands setup is about as good as I would imagine you can do for a heavier rider looking to go out in about 15 to 20 knot wind range, work on some tricks, possibly do some small loops, and be covered if the wind does pick up a lot while you're out. My setup for these conditions is my North Trace, size 145, a 12 meter Evo D lab using a truss bar with 24 meter lines from the Linesmith. Why I like this setup is because even at over 100 kgs, I can get out riding in a piddly 15 knots, try a lot of things with very little risk of hurting myself, especially when the wind's under 20 knots, but still hold it down right up to around 30 knots, which I've had to do a few times unexpectedly when the wind shot up here in New Zealand, while still being able to make the most, even jumping in the late teens a number of times on the woo, throwing some big monstrous angry loops as well. The first key item I think any larger rider should get is a light wind board, and this 145 Trace is pretty brilliant for that. It is very light for its size, so you can still get away with board offs, and once you get used to the added girth, it gets pretty stable for landing on, even in a bit of chop. Naturally it's easier in the flats, but I've also hit kickers as high as my head and found it did the job pretty well. Now when it comes to the Kite, if you've seen my D-Lab review, you'll know for me it's still top of the heap, not only for its speed, power and lift, hang time of course, but the low end is wild on it as well. Even in the bigger sizes like this 12 meters, I think you can do most of the type of big air riding you'd want to. I throw on extra 2 meter extensions when I use this 12 for a little added hang time and that extra bit of power as well. And yes, you can even throw some less aggressive loops with it if you're in as little as 17-18 knots. But when the wind creeps up, you can throw some bigger, more intense ones that have amazing pull and super sweet swing off the end of it, like this one here. And you can see from the hang time after the loop just how much fun those long lines are. Thanks for watching as always. If you like this shorter style edit with voiceover gear talk, please comment below and I'll think of more topics to discuss and comment on. Goodbye.